Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Alana Simone. I pray and hope that you're having an amazing day. So today we are going to be talking about the authority I fall under first. And so this is one thing that I have learned, especially becoming a young adult, especially just going through my life and living on my own and experiencing different things. And this is one thing that, I recognize. First of all, I recognize this at a young age, but even so more now, and how important it is. And it's knowing the authority that I fall under. And so for me, I know that the authority that I fall under is God. And no, it's not saying like, oh, looking at God in a way that he's like a dictator and he's like a tyrant, telling me what to do and, restricting me and all this stuff, giving me rules. No, it's a very humbling knowing of, I know I'm not God, and I know that there is someone above me, and I know that that person is God. And so when you recognize and know that, you realize that your life is not your own, and you know that, it causes you to just be reminded that you do have to answer to somebody eventually. It may not be right now, but eventually we all will have to answer to someone. And that person is God. And, there will become a day where we will have to answer to him and give an account for all of our actions and words that we have spoken and done on this planet called Earth. And so when you recognize and know that, you just kind of live your life a little bit differently. At least I do. I just know that I just have more standards for myself. I have, just a different perspective on life, because I know that it's more than just now. The decisions and the choices that I make now will directly impact my future. And that future I'm talking about is, yes, it's going to be my future when I'm alive and get older, but it's that future and that's past the future, and that's when you pass away. And so that is really what I focus on and make sure that, the actions and the things that I'm doing now on this earth, I know that it's going to impact that. And so that's why, I take it more seriously. And so that's just one thing that I, do, because I know that our decisions and, my choices, have impact, and it will cause an impact at some point in my life. And recognizing that, it's not a bad thing. I think that people think, especially my generation, we feel like we don't want nobody to tell us what to do. We don't gotta listen to nobody. We are in control of our own life. And, there's so many things that I can get into. But knowing that it's so important to recognize that there is an authority over us. And whether you follow Christ, follow God or not, doesn't negate the fact that he's still real and that he's still, above us. And so I think it's just so important to recognize that, because you just, when you recognize that, you live your life a little bit differently. And I think that, for me, being a young adult, living on my own, there are some things that I go through in life that, yes, my parents are there, yes, my friends may be there, but unfortunately they can't help me. Or, they might try to help me, but I look at their life and I'm like, I don't really think I want your help, because you really haven't had much success in that area. So I don't really think, like, I hear you, but I don't really think I'm gonna take that advice, because I don't know. So unfortunately, there are some areas that everybody can't help you with. And so that's when I remember that I have somebody who can help me with it, and that's God. And so that's who I reach out to a lot in my life, especially being a young adult, because he's helped me in so many situations. He's helped me, when I've had issues with my boss. He's helped me when I've had issues, just trying to navigate life and this journey. And I always just run it past him. And just communicate with him about different things that I'm feeling, different things that I'm going through, and, really pray about different things. And he helps me. He either helps me by helping change the situation, changing that person's heart, or he may give me some like insider knowledge and speak to me on how to deal with the situation in my life better. And so I think it's so beneficial because to me, I have taken God outside of the box that most people put him in. And so I look at him literally like he's my friend. And when you, like for me, I can be in communication with him all throughout the day because I look at him as my friend. I look at him like a person who has my best interest. I look at him as a person who is going to help me succeed in this life. And I look at him as like, not only just a friend, but like my father and like the one who loves me and knows me. You know, he's the one who created me. He's the one who knew me before I was even born and put into my mom's womb. So it's like, why would I not, you know, communicate with him and recognize who he is in my life and know that he's above me. And that's okay because I want somebody who has more knowledge than me. I want somebody who actually knows me more than I even know myself. To help me in this life, this journey called life. So, you know, I recognize in my life the authority that I fall under, and I just pray that other people can recognize that. You know, it's your choice. You don't have to believe in God. You don't have to accept God, but because we all have a choice. He doesn't like force us to do anything we don't want to do. But knowing that, still, you know, it's important to recognize that, you know, he's there. When we change our perspective and look at it in a different way, then I think we can be open to receive him in a different way and know that he's there to actually help us and there to actually, you know, give us guidance in life and give us hope for our future and give us, you know, love that no other man, any person could ever give us. And so when you recognize that, you really know how important it is to allow him and have him in your life every single day. Especially being young, like, there's only so much, like to me, one thing I love is that my parents, they help, like at this stage in life, my mom calls it like their advisors, but they respect and know that I am grown now. So it's like the Bible says, train up a child in the way that they should go. So when they get old, they don't depart from it. But so that means that the parents are supposed to create a foundation. The parents are supposed to, you know, create and train you up in a way that once you get older, you can, you know, continue to live out, you know, the things that you've been taught about God and knowing the importance of having a relationship. They can't force you to do it. I mean, some parents do that, but, you know, those are different parents. But you recognize that at a certain point, when you get to an adult, young adult or whatever, you have to live your life for yourself. And yes, your parents can be there for guidance and help you, you know, navigate to the best that they can. But you have to recognize that there is somebody even over your parent, just like there's somebody over you. And God is above us all. And so I recognize that God is now before my parents. So yes, my parents can help me and still give me guidance and direction, but I recognize that overall I have to listen to what God says, and I have to establish a relationship with God for myself, because sometimes even our parents can only have a certain amount of knowledge or a certain amount of insight on how they think our life should be, but God knows all things and he knows the plans that he has for us. So it's very important to build a relationship with him for yourself. So in the times where even your parents may not have the answers, or in your friends or whoever you have influencing your life, that you can always reach out to God, because he always has the answer. And his answer is always the best answer, because it's the right answer and it's the one that's going to get you the best result in life. So I recognize that for my life. I pray and hope other people can recognize that for their life. You know, I can't, you know, I can only share what has helped me, but it's up to you to decide what you're going to do. Like some people, you know, glorify people more than they glorify God, and recognize, like they put people over God. And I'm just not that person who does that. I recognize God's place in my life and know that he is the number one. So that's just something I recognize, and me recognizing that has gotten me the best results in my life. And so that's just something that I always make sure that I know and make sure that I stand, you know, strong on. So You know, be encouraged today. Know that there is an authority that we all fall under, you know, whether we believe or not in God. But it's our choice to be able to accept that authority and accept God into our life and allow him to be able to help us and allow him to be able to, you know, really guide us and be there for us to help bring about the best, you know, journey in our life. So you guys, I thank you so much for being here. I really pray that this video gave you some new insight and helped you in some type of way. And I will see you guys in the next video.